Simon lived in a quaint little town near Malmö, Sweden. He was a young boy with big dreams. From a young age, Simon loved music. He loved to sing, he loved to dance. He dreamed of sharing his passions with the world. Simon also loved movies and plays. He was drawn to the magic of storytelling. He would spend hours mimicking his favorite actors. He dreamed of one day seeing his own name in lights. Simon was a dreamer, but he was also a doer. He knew that to achieve his dreams, he needed to work hard. He poured his heart into every song he sang and every role he played. Simon's optimism and enthusiasm were infectious. His friends and family believed in him. They knew that Simon was destined for great things. He just had to find his stage. Simon's love for acting led him to a local youth theatre group. He was nervous at first. He had never performed in front of an audience before. But as soon as he stepped on stage, something magical happened. All of his fears melted away. He felt alive. He felt at home. The other children in the group welcomed him. They saw his passion and dedication. Simon thrived in this environment. He loved learning new lines and trying different characters. He discovered that the stage was a place where he could be himself. He could be anyone he wanted to be. When Simon wasn't performing on stage, he was creating his own music. He taught himself to play the guitar. He wrote songs about his life, his dreams, and his experiences. He poured his heart into every note. He started sharing his music online under the name Blaster of the Universe. He wanted his music to be a force for good in the world. He wanted to inspire others to follow their dreams. His music was upbeat and catchy. People responded to his positive message. He started to gain a following. His songs were shared online. Simon was surprised by the success, but he was grateful for the opportunity to share his music with the world. Even though he had big dreams, Simon appreciated the simple things in life. He loved exploring the beautiful countryside near his home. He often went on adventures with his friends. They would ride their bikes along the coast. They would swim in the lakes. They would camp under the stars. Simon cherished these moments with his friends. They made him feel grounded. They reminded him of the importance of living in the moment. He knew that his adventures in Sweden were just the beginning. He dreamed of traveling the world. He wanted to experience new cultures. He wanted to share his music with people everywhere. Section 5. Facing the music. Not everyone in Simon's life was supportive of his dreams. There was a boy named Lars who often made fun of Simon. Lars thought Simon's dreams were foolish. He would tease Simon about his singing and his acting. Simon tried to ignore Lars. He didn't want to let Lars's negativity bring him down, but sometimes Lars's words hurt. One day Lars went too far. He made fun of Simon's music in front of a group of people. Simon was humiliated. He felt like giving up on his dreams. But then he remembered why he loved music in the first place. It was his passion, it was his voice, it was his way of connecting with the world. He refused to let Lars take that away from him. Section 6. A journey of forgiveness. Simon realized that holding on to anger would only hurt him in the long run. So he made a conscious decision to forgive Lars. He knew that Lars's bullying stemmed from his own insecurities. One day Simon saw Lars sitting alone. He decided to approach him. Lars was surprised to see Simon. He braced himself for another insult. Instead, Simon offered him a kind word. He told Lars that he understood why he acted the way he did. He told Lars that he forgave him. Lars was taken aback by Simon's compassion. He mumbled an apology. From that day forward, Lars never bullied Simon again. In fact, they developed an unlikely friendship. Simon's act of forgiveness had a profound impact on both of them. Section 7. Dreams take flight. As Simon got older, his talent continued to blossom. He started to get noticed for his acting. He was cast in larger roles. He even won a few awards. He was well on his way to achieving his dreams. His music career was also taking off. He was invited to perform at festivals and clubs. His music was played on the radio. He was building a loyal fan base. Through it all, Simon remained humble and grounded. He never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the people who supported him along the way. He was living proof that with hard work, dedication, and a little bit of talent, anything is possible. Section 8. Staying true to himself. Despite his success, Simon never lost sight of who he was. He remained the same kind, compassionate, and optimistic person he had always been. He used his platform to give back to his community. He supported arts education in schools. He spoke out against bullying. He used his voice to make a difference in the world. He knew that true success wasn't just about fame and fortune. It was about using his gifts to make the world a better place, and he was determined to do just that. Section 9, A Star is Born. Simon's story is a reminder that anything is possible if you dare to dream big and work hard. It's a story about the power of perseverance, the importance of staying true to yourself, and the transformative power of forgiveness. Simon's journey was just beginning. He had already accomplished so much, but he knew that the best was yet to come. He was ready to embrace whatever the future held. The world was waiting to hear his song. Gap 3S, Section 10, The Big Break. Simon's talent and hard work were about to pay off in a big way. One evening, while performing at a small local venue, a renowned music producer happened to be in the audience. Captivated by Simon's raw talent and unique voice, the producer approached him after the show with an offer that would change his life forever. Gap 2S. With a record deal in hand, Simon entered the studio for the first time. It was a surreal experience, filled with excitement and a touch of nervousness. He poured his heart and soul into every track, determined to make the most of this incredible opportunity. The studio sessions were intense, but Simon thrived under the pressure, channeling his emotions into his music. Gap 2S. When his debut single was finally released, it took the world by storm. The song quickly climbed the charts, resonating with listeners from all walks of life. Simon's phone was ringing off the hook with interview requests, and his social media exploded with messages of support and admiration. Gap 2S. Simon's first big break was more than just a career milestone. It was a validation of his dreams and a testament to his perseverance. He had faced countless challenges and doubts along the way, but he never gave up. Now he was living his dream, and he knew that this was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. Gap 2S. As Simon stood on stage performing his hit single to a sold-out crowd, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. He had come so far, and he knew that the best was yet to come. The world was finally hearing his song, and Simon was ready to shine brighter than ever before. Gap 3S, Section 11, The Shadows of Fame. Simon's rise to stardom seemed like a dream come true, but with fame came a new set of challenges. The once unknown artist found himself thrust into the spotlight, and the pressure to maintain his success was immense. Gap 2S. The constant demands of media appearances, interviews, and public scrutiny began to take a toll on Simon. He found himself missing the simplicity of his earlier days, when music was just about the passion and not the expectations. Gap 2S. Behind the scenes, the reality of fame was far from glamorous. Simon struggled with the invasive nature of the paparazzi, who seemed determined to capture every moment of his life, leaving him with little privacy. The weight of being a public figure was heavier than he had ever imagined. Gap 2S. Relationships with friends and family became strained as Simon's new lifestyle created distances he couldn't bridge. He longed for the genuine connections he once had, but his busy schedule and the constant travel made it difficult to maintain those bonds. Gap 2S. Despite his outward success, Simon felt a growing sense of loneliness and isolation. The adoration of fans and the accolades felt hollow in the absence of true companionship and understanding. He began to question whether the sacrifice was worth it. Gap 2S. But Simon was resilient. He turned to his music as an outlet for his emotions, pouring his struggles and reflections into new songs. He realized that while fame had brought its shadows, it also gave him a platform to connect with others who might be facing similar challenges. Gap 2S. The journey through the shadows of fame was a difficult one, but it taught Simon valuable lessons about authenticity and staying true to himself. He learned that it was okay to be vulnerable and to seek help when needed. Gap 2S. As he stood on stage performing a new heartfelt ballad about his struggles, Simon felt a profound connection with his audience. They weren't just fans, they were kindred spirits on a shared journey. In that moment he knew that he could face the shadows and continue to shine. A Gap 3S, Section 12, Homecoming. After navigating the shadows of fame, Simon felt a strong pull to return to his roots. he decided to take a break from the whirlwind of his career and visit his hometown, a place filled with memories and the people who knew him before the world did, Gap 2S. As Simon drove down the familiar streets, he was flooded with nostalgia. The old oak tree where he used to play, the local diner where he had his first gig, and the school gym where he performed at talent shows. All these places held a special place in his heart. Gap 2S. The townsfolk welcomed him with open arms, their warmth and genuine smiles reminding him of simpler times. They didn't see him as the superstar Simon. To them, he was still the boy with a song in his heart. Gap 2S. Simon visited his childhood home, now a little worn with age but still standing strong. Inside, he found his old room, untouched and filled with relics of his past, posters of his musical idols, a dusty guitar and notebooks filled with his earliest lyrics. Gap 2S. Sitting on his bed, Simon strummed his guitar and sang the songs that had once been his dreams. The familiar chords and melodies brought a sense of peace and clarity. He realized that these simple moments were the foundation of his passion for music. Gap 2S. He spent time with his family, sharing meals, laughter and stories. They reminisced about the times when music was just a hobby and not a career. Simon felt the love and support that had always been there, even when he was miles away. Gap 2S. One evening, the town organized a small gathering at the local park. Simon performed an impromptu concert, playing both his old favorites and new hits. The audience, a mix of old friends and new faces, sang along with him, their voices blending in harmony. Gap 2S. In that moment, Simon felt a profound sense of belonging. The connection with his hometown and its people was a reminder that no matter how far he traveled or how high he soared, his roots would always be here, grounding him. Gap 2S. Simon's homecoming was more than a visit. It was a rediscovery of himself. He left with a renewed spirit, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that he had a place to return to where he was always welcome and loved. Gap 2S. As he drove away, the town fading in the rearview mirror, Simon felt a sense of contentment. He carried with him the warmth of home, a reminder that he was never truly alone on his journey. Gap 3S, Section 13. Harmonious collaborations. Energized by his homecoming, Simon decided it was time to expand his musical horizons through collaboration. He reached out to a diverse group of artists, each bringing their unique style and flair to the table. Gap 2S, the first collaboration, was with renowned jazz pianist Elisa Green. Their session was a fusion of Simon's pop melodies and Elisa's intricate jazz improvisations. The result was a fresh, vibrant sound that neither could have achieved alone. Gap 2S. Next, Simon teamed up with a rising hip-hop artist, Jaden J-Rock Rivera. Their synergy was electric. Simon's soulful hooks blended seamlessly with Jaden's rhythmic verses, creating a track that resonated with both pop and hip-hop audiences. Gap 2S. Simon also connected with a folk band, The Wanderers. Together, they crafted a heartfelt ballad that combined the band's rich harmonies with Simon's emotive lyrics. The collaboration was a beautiful testament to the power of blending different genres. Gap 2F. In the studio, the atmosphere was one of mutual respect and creative exchange. Each artist brought their own experiences and perspectives, pushing Simon to explore new musical territories. The collaborative process was not just about making music, it was about learning and growing as an artist. Gap 2F. These collaborations culminated in a special concert, Unity in Diversity, where Simon and his new friends performed their joint creations live. The energy was palpable as the audience witnessed the magic of these unique musical fusions. Gap 2F. The concert was a celebration of creativity and unity, showcasing how music can bridge gaps and bring people together. Simon felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had not only expanded his musical repertoire, but also forged meaningful connections with fellow artists. Gap 2S. As the final notes of the concert echoed through the hall, Simon looked around at his collaborators and the cheering crowd. He realized that these partnerships had enriched his musical journey in ways he had never imagined. Gap 2's. The experience of creating music with others had reignited Simon's passion and opened his eyes to endless possibilities. He left the stage with a heart full of gratitude and excitement for the future, ready to continue his journey with newfound inspiration and a network of talented friends by his side. Gap 2S. The collaborations had taught Simon that music is a universal language, capable of transcending boundaries and bringing people together. It was a lesson he would carry with him no matter where his career took him next. Gap 2S. And so, with a spirit of unity and a heart full of music, Simon looked forward to the next chapter of his journey, knowing that the best was yet to come. Gap 3S, Section 14, The Heart of Giving. Inspired by the connections he had forged through his musical collaborations, Simon felt a calling to give back to the community that had supported him throughout his journey. He realized that his success brought with it a responsibility to make a positive impact on the world. Gap 2S. Simon decided to launch a charitable foundation aimed at supporting young, aspiring musicians who lacked the resources to pursue their dreams. The foundation provided scholarships, mentorship programs, and access to quality musical instruments. Gap 2S. One of the first initiatives was a partnership with local schools to establish music programs for underprivileged children. Simon believed that every child deserved the opportunity to explore their musical talents, regardless of their background. Gap 2S. He also organized benefit concerts where all proceeds went towards funding these programs and supporting the foundation's mission. These concerts not only raised money but also brought the community together, showcasing the transformative power of music. Gap 2S. Through his foundation, Simon met countless young musicians whose passion and determination reminded him of his own early struggles. He offered them guidance and encouragement, sharing his own experiences and lessons learned. Gap 2S. One particularly memorable encounter was with a young violinist named Mia. Despite facing numerous challenges, Mia's talent and dedication shone brightly. Simon took her under his wing, providing her with opportunities to perform and grow as an artist. Gap 2S. The impact of Simon's philanthropic efforts extended beyond the music community. He also supported initiatives aimed at mental health awareness, environmental conservation, and social justice. Simon believed that music could be a catalyst for change, and he used his platform to advocate for causes close to his heart. Gap 2S. Simon's philanthropic work brought him a profound sense of fulfillment. He saw firsthand the difference that his efforts made in the lives of others, and this fueled his passion for giving back. Gap 2S. As he continued to balance his career with his charitable endeavors, Simon felt a deep sense of purpose. He knew that his journey was not just about personal success, but about making a meaningful impact on the world around him. Gap 2S. The heart of giving had become an integral part of Simon's identity. It was a testament to his belief that true greatness lies not in what we achieve for ourselves, but in what we do for others. Gap 2S. With a heart full of gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose, Simon looked forward to the future, ready to continue his journey as both an artist and a philanthropist. He knew that the best was yet to come, and he was excited to see where his path would lead. Gap 2S. And so, with a spirit of generosity and a heart full of music, Simon embraced the next chapter of his life, knowing that his greatest achievements were still ahead of him. Gap 3S, Section 15, The Ties That Bind. Amidst the whirlwind of his career and philanthropic endeavors, Simon found solace and grounding in his personal relationships. His family and close friends remained his anchor, providing unwavering support and love. Gap 2S. Simon's parents had always been his biggest fans. They had nurtured his passion for music from a young age, and their pride in his accomplishments was immeasurable. Despite their humble beginnings, they had instilled in Simon the values of hard work, humility, and compassion. Gap 2S. One of the most significant relationships in Simon's life was with his grandmother, who had introduced him to music. Her old piano, with its worn keys, was where Simon's journey had begun. Even now, whenever he felt lost or overwhelmed, he would recall her words of wisdom and find comfort in her memory. Gap 2S. Simon's friends, some of whom had known him since childhood, played a vital role in keeping him grounded. They celebrated his successes and supported him through the challenges, always reminding him of the boy with a song in his heart. Gap 2S. Among his closest friends was Emma, a fellow musician he had met during his early days in the industry. Their bond transcended friendship as they shared a deep understanding of each other's struggles and triumphs. Emma's unwavering belief in Simon's talent had been a constant source of encouragement. Gap 2S. As Simon's career soared, he met someone who would change his life in unexpected ways. Julia, a talented artist with a heart as big as her smile, entered his world with a burst of color and light. Their connection was instant and profound, built on mutual respect and admiration for each other's craft. Gap 2S. Together, Simon and Julia navigated the complexities of their respective careers, finding strength in their partnership. They supported each other's dreams, celebrated each other's successes, and provided a safe haven amidst the chaos of their lives. Gap 2S, Julia's presence brought a new dimension to Simon's life. Her creativity and passion inspired him to explore new avenues in his music, and her unwavering love provided a sense of stability he had never known before. Gap 2S, Simon's relationship with Julia also deepened his understanding of love and commitment. He learned that true partnership meant being there for each other through the highs and lows, and that the strength of their bond was a testament to their shared values and dreams. Gap 2S. As Simon continued his journey, he cherished the moments of quiet reflection and connection with his loved ones. These relationships were the foundation upon which he built his life, and they remained his source of strength and inspiration. Gap 2SS. Through the ups and downs, Simon's personal life and relationships provided a sense of balance and fulfillment. They reminded him of the importance of staying true to himself and the people who had been with him from the beginning. Gap 2S. With a heart full of love and gratitude, Simon embraced the ties that bound him to his family, friends, and Julia. They were the pillars that supported him, and he knew that no matter where his journey took him, he would always have a place to call home. Gap 2S. And so, with the music of his heart and the love of those who mattered most, Simon continued his journey, ready to face whatever lay ahead. He knew that with the ties that bound him, he could achieve anything, and that his greatest triumphs were yet to come. Gap 3S, Section 16, the creative process. In the quiet moments away from the spotlight, Simon found himself immersed in the intricate dance of creativity. This was where his soul spoke its truest language, where ideas flowed like a river, unrestrained and pure. Gap 2S. Simon's creative process was a journey in itself, a blend of inspiration, discipline, and intuition. He often began with a spark, a fleeting thought, a memory, or an emotion that would ignite his imagination. From there, he would let the melody guide him, each note a step closer to the heart of his creation. Gap 2S. He would retreat to his studio, a sanctuary filled with instruments and mementos that told the story of his musical journey. The room was a reflection of his mind, organized chaos, where every item had a purpose and every sound had a place. Gap 2S. Simon's old piano, a gift from his grandmother, stood as a centerpiece. Its worn keys held countless memories, each one a testament to his growth as an artist. He would often start there, his fingers dancing across the keys, searching for the perfect harmony. Gap 2S. He found inspiration in the world around him, the rustling of leaves, the rhythm of the city, the laughter of friends. These everyday sounds became the foundation of his compositions, grounding his music in the reality of human experience. Gap 2S. Simon was meticulous in his craft, often spending hours perfecting a single chord progression or lyric. He believed that music was a reflection of the soul, and he poured his heart into every note, striving to create something that resonated with others. Gap 2S. Collaboration was also a vital part of his process. He sought out fellow musicians like Emma, whose perspectives and talents enriched his work. Their sessions were a blend of experimentation and camaraderie, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Gap 2S. Julia's influence was profound. Her artistic vision and passion for storytelling inspired Simon to explore new themes and sounds. Together, they would dive into deep conversations about life, love, and the human condition, translating those insights into their art. Gap 2S. Simon's creative process was not without its challenges. There were moments of doubt and frustration, times when the music seemed just out of reach, but he embraced these struggles, knowing that they were a part of the journey. Gap 2S. He found solace in the act of creation itself, a meditative practice that allowed him to connect with his innermost thoughts and feelings. In these moments, he felt a profound sense of peace, a reminder of why he had chosen this path. Gap 2S. As he crafted each piece, Simon imagined the impact it might have on others, the joy, comfort, or reflection it could bring. This connection with his audience was what drove him, a silent dialogue that transcended words. Gap 2S. Through his creative process, Simon discovered not only his artistic voice, but also his sense of purpose. It was a journey of self-discovery, a path that led him to deeper understanding and empathy. Gap 2S. With each new composition, Simon continued to evolve, both as an artist and as a person. His music was a living testament to his experiences, a reflection of the world as seen through his eyes. Gap 2S. And so, in the quiet of his studio with the echoes of his inspiration surrounding him, Simon embraced the creative process. It was here, in this sacred space, that he found his true self and where his dreams took flight. Gap 3S, Section 17, Triumph and Recognition. Simon's journey through music had always been driven by passion and creativity, but soon the world began to take notice. Accolades and awards started to pour in, each one a testament to his talent and dedication. Gap 2S. The first major recognition came with the release of his debut album. Critics hailed it as a masterpiece, a fresh voice in the music industry that was both innovative and deeply emotional. The album quickly climbed the charts, earning Simon his first gold record. Gap 2S. This was just the beginning. Simon's work continued to resonate with audiences around the globe, leading to a string of prestigious awards. He received his first Grammy for Best New Artist, an honor that solidified his place among the greats. Gap 2S. The ceremony was a night to remember. As Simon took the stage to accept his award, the audience erupted in applause. He stood there humbled and grateful, knowing that this moment was the culmination of years of hard work and perseverance. Gap 2S. But it wasn't just about the awards. For Simon, the true joy came from knowing that his music had touched people's lives. Letters from fans poured in, sharing stories of how his songs had provided comfort, inspiration, and hope. Gap 2S. One of the most touching moments came when Simon was invited to perform at a benefit concert for a cause close to his heart. The event raised millions for charity, and Simon's performance was the highlight of the evening. His music had the power to bring people together, to heal and uplift. Gap 2S. As the years went by, Simon's list of accolades grew. He received multiple Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year and Song of the Year. He was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a symbol of his enduring impact on the music industry. Gap 2S. He was also recognized for his contributions to music education, receiving an honorary doctorate from a prestigious university. Simon's commitment to nurturing the next generation of musicians was unwavering, and he dedicated much of his time to mentoring young artists. Gap 2S. Despite all the recognition, Simon remained grounded. He knew that the true reward was not the trophies or the applause, but the ability to create and share his art with the world. Gap 2S. And so, as he stood on the stage, basking in the glow of his achievements, Simon felt a profound sense of fulfillment. He had stayed true to his vision, and in doing so had touched countless lives. Gap 2S. His journey was far from over, but in this moment of triumph, Simon knew that he had already achieved something extraordinary. He had turned his dreams into reality, and in doing so, had left an indelible mark on the world. Gap 2S. With every award and recognition, Simon was reminded of the power of music, the power to connect, to inspire, and to transform. It was a gift he cherished, and one he would continue to share for years to come. Gap 3S, Section 18. The Horizon Beckons. As Simon reflected on his incredible journey and the recognition he had garnered, his heart swelled with pride and gratitude. But even with all his achievements, Simon knew that there was still so much more he wanted to accomplish. Gap 2S, his future aspirations were fueled by a deep desire to explore new horizons and push the boundaries of his artistry. Simon envisioned a world where his music could transcend genres and cultures, bringing people together in ways that had never been done before. Gap 2S, one of his dreams, was to create a global music festival, a celebration of diversity and creativity. He imagined artists from every corner of the world coming together to share their unique sounds and stories. This festival would be a beacon of unity, showing that music truly knows no borders. Gap 2S. Simon also had a passion for innovation. He wanted to explore the intersection of music and technology, experimenting with virtual reality and artificial intelligence to create immersive and interactive musical experiences. He believed that the future of music lay in its ability to evolve and adapt to the changing times. Gap 2S education remained close to Simon's heart. He aspired to establish a music academy that would provide opportunities for underprivileged youth to discover and nurture their talents. This academy would be a place where dreams could take flight, where the next generation of musicians could find their voice and their path. Gap 2's collaboration was another key aspect of Simon's vision for the future. He dreamed of working with artists from different disciplines, painters, dancers, filmmakers, to create multi-sensory experiences that would captivate and inspire audiences. These collaborations would be a testament to the limitless possibilities of creative expression at Gap 2's. Simon's aspirations were not just about his own success, but about making a positive impact on the world. He wanted his music to be a force for good, to raise awareness and support for important causes. He envisioned benefit concerts that could bring attention to issues like climate change, mental health, and social justice. Gap 2's. As he looked to the future, Simon felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to embrace it with open arms. His journey had taught him that anything was possible with passion, dedication, and a little bit of courage. Gap 2's. In his heart, Simon felt that the best was yet to come. The horizon beckoned, and he was eager to explore the endless possibilities that lay ahead. With his unwavering spirit and boundless creativity, Simon was ready to write the next chapter of his extraordinary story, Gap 2's. And so, with hope in his heart and a song on his lips, Simon set his sights on the future. He knew that his journey was far from over and that the world was waiting to see what he would create next. Gap 2's. The horizon beckoned, and Simon was ready to answer its call. The future was bright, and he was determined to make it shine even brighter. Gap 2's. With every note and every melody, Simon would continue to inspire, to connect, and to transform. His music was his gift to the world, and he was ready to share it in ways that had never been imagined before. Gap 2's. The horizon beckoned, and Simon was ready to soar. Gap 3's. Section 19. The legacy of Simon. As Simon's journey continued to unfold, his impact on the music industry became undeniably profound. He was not just a musician, he was a visionary, a pioneer who redefined what music could be and how it could touch lives. Simon's Global Music Festival became a reality, attracting artists and audiences from every corner of the globe. It was a celebration of unity and diversity, a testament to the power of music to bring people together. The festival's success echoed far and wide, inspiring countless others to dream big and to see music as a universal language that transcends boundaries. His innovative use of technology and music set new standards in the industry. Virtual reality concerts and AI-composed symphonies became the norm, thanks to Simon's relentless pursuit of the next frontier. These advancements opened up new avenues for artists and fans alike, creating immersive experiences that connected people in ways that were previously unimaginable. The music academy Simon established blossomed into a haven for aspiring musicians from all walks of life. Underprivileged youth found a place to nurture their talents, to find their voice, and to chase their dreams. Many of his students went on to become successful artists in their own right, carrying forward Simon's legacy of creativity and compassion. Simon's collaborative projects broke new ground, blending music with visual arts, dance, and film to create multisensory masterpieces. These works captivated audiences and pushed the boundaries of artistic expression, proving that the possibilities of creativity were indeed limitless. His benefit concerts raised millions for causes close to his heart. Simon's music became a force for good, shining a light on important issues and inspiring action. He used his platform to advocate for change, to support mental health initiatives, to combat climate change, and to promote social justice. As Simon's influence grew, so did his humility and his gratitude. He remained true to himself, never losing sight of the boy with a song in his heart. His journey was a testament to the power of passion, dedication, and the courage to follow one's dreams. Simon's legacy was not just in the music he created, but in the lives he touched and the inspiration he sparked. He showed the world that music could be a bridge, a beacon, and a catalyst for change. His story became a source of hope for future generations, a reminder that with heart and soul, anything was possible. As the final notes of his journey played, Simon's legacy continued to resonate. The horizon had beckoned and he had soared, and in his wake he left a world forever changed by the beauty and power of his music. The legacy of Simon was one of inspiration, of unity, and of boundless creativity. And as his melodies echoed through time, they reminded us all that the heart of music lies in its ability to connect, to heal, and to transform. Simon's journey may have reached its crescendo, but his legacy would continue to inspire for generations to come. The horizon had beckoned, and Simon had answered. The future he envisioned was now a reality, and his music would forever be the soundtrack of a world united by its beauty. The legacy of Simon was, and would always be, a symphony of hope, love, and endless possibility. And so, the story of Simon ended where it began, with a boy, a song, and a heart full of dreams.